Greetings to you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. My name is Ewane Edmond Elime, alias Eddie Bobo, and I'm a nurse by profession. And I've come today to discuss the consequences or the effects of holding back urine whenever the urinary bladder is full, and you already feel that urge to pass urine, but you resist to answer the call of nature by going to empty the bladder. So we must also understand that there are individual reasons why people hold back urine. Okay, some people find themselves in places where they are not comfortable to use other people's toilets, and some others think that using public toilets it's very dangerous for them because a lot of people come there with maybe different conditions and they could pick up infection from such places. And some other people are just lazy sometimes when especially in this our generation, people are very lazy to even go to the toilet to empty their bladder whenever they have the urge to pass urine. So they resist because they are watching a movie, sometimes when using a mobile phone, sometimes when having a very challenging task, you feel like you should not even leave your seat to go and empty your bladder. So there are a lot of reasons. Sometimes you are doing something and you are timed. You have timed yourself, and sometimes people are doing an online examination or even in the classroom examination, and you might not want to go out to pass urine, even if the urine, I mean, you really have that urge to pass urine. So you see, there are various individual reasons why people would hold back urine. And it's very important to note that I mean, when we do these things only, it's not a habit. We might not have the effects that we are going to be discussing today. But if you have that habit of doing this every time, there are consequences, ladies and gentlemen. And that is what I'm advising you today to stop so that you will not have this effects coming because it affects your health or they affect your health. And first of all, we shall be looking at the first effect that may come up when you have the habit of holding back urine in the urinary bladder. There is First of all, there is a tendency that you could have an infection. Okay, whenever you have the habit of keeping urine inside the bladder, there is a tendency that bacteria will accumulate or will grow in the bladder inside. I mean, in the urine that is stagnant or that is stored in the bladder for a very long time, and especially if you are doing that over and over again. So there is a tendency that an infection might occur. Okay, this is very, very important to note. Okay, there are various ways that infection will occur. Okay, sometimes also if there is a reflux of urine into the ureters, I will show you in a diagram very soon, and I'll explain to you what ureters are. So there is a urinary reflux into the ureters, and that is very, very dangerous. Okay, so you must avoid this. The second consequence or the effect that I would like you to note is that once you have that habit of keeping urine in the urinary bladder, it expands the bladder. Okay, the bladder muscles get weakened when that happens every time. Okay, that is it. It's like a balloon. Pick up a balloon and put air in it. Okay, if you put a small amount of air, it's that the balloon is still relaxed, and but the more you put the air in it, the more the balloon expands. The more you put the air in it, the more it expands and weakens the wall of the balloon. And to a certain extent, if you put more air, there's a time that the balloon can rupture. Okay, can burst. Okay, this is a very rare situation in the consequences we are discussing today. There is a possibility that if you have this habit, and especially if you keep urine at a particular time for a very long time, and after the urinary, I mean the bladder walls, the muscles have been weakened, and there is a time that you keep it for a very long time again, it is possible that your bladder may rupture. Your urinary bladder may rupture. This is a very rare situation, but it's possible. Okay, it is very, very possible. Okay, so also while there is that there's that expansion, that stretching of the bladder muscles, they can also be cracks on the walls of the urinary bladder, which is sometimes seen. You have the pain once that happens, and also when you pass urine you see some stains of blood in your urine, so you want to avoid all of these things from happening. Okay, whenever you feel like you should pass urine, please do so. Okay, so remember, when that stretch is happening, the kidneys will not say we should stop filtering urine and transporting it and sending it into the bladder. Okay, it will continue to produce because it's a natural thing that will be happening in your system. The kidneys will not stop producing. So they'll be producing, the bladder is full, and you will have urine in the ureters, maybe right back into the kidneys, which is very, very dangerous. You want to avoid this, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so it's very important for you to look at these things. The internet is there, whether you're a medical personnel or not, you could learn some of those things yourself. Okay, it's very, very important. Another thing, you have pain whenever you have you have a high amount of urine accumulated in your bladder. So avoid those things so that your health will be preserved, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so those are some of the consequences I wanted to share with you. Maybe if you go to do research, you might find more. So do that. So this is a diagram of the urinary system. Okay, this is the diagram of the urinary system. You have the kidneys, the left and the right kidney. You have the left and the right kidney here. And then you have the ureters that transport urine from the kidneys into the bladder. It's very important for you to know. Okay, this, and you see how they are. Okay, I might not want to explain all of this, the nature of, the position and the way they are curved. It's very important. It's not just there for design. They have the rule. Of course, when you have, it's difficult to have urine climbing back into. So that's why you have this design. There is a curve here, and there is this one here before. So it's very, very important. So these are the ureters, and that carry urine from the when the urine is filtrated from the kidneys, and then it transports it into the bladder. So this is the bladder here, and this is the urethra. There's a difference between ureter and urethra. You can see the spelling. This is urethra, okay, and these are ureters, okay. So you see that this is a urethra, which through, when you feel you want to urinate, urine will pass through there for you to be able to pass out the urine. For the men, the urethra is longer than that of a woman. A woman's urethra is very, very short, and that's why they are always unable to keep urine for a very long time. When it reaches climax, you can see a woman running helter skelter just to go past urine, and they could do it anywhere. But for a man, because the urethra is longer, okay, they have the ability to keep the urine for a very long time. So now it tells you that men suffer some of these consequences more than women, because women, just a small resistance inside here, or a small buildup of urine or accumulation of urine inside here, and they cannot support it. They can always run to quickly go and pass urine. So it is very, 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 very important, ladies and gentlemen, for us to note these things. Yeah, especially the consequences that we have discussed in this video. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That's what we had, or I had for you today, and I expect you to take away that habit of holding back urine. My name is Ewane Edmond Elime.